Welcome to the Made You Think podcast. Hi. Yeah. Welcome to the Made You Think podcast. Welcome to the Made You Think podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Made You Think podcast. I apologize if my voice sounds crazy. Allergies are kicking my butt at the moment, but I am here. I am your host, Megan Scorp. And before we dive in, let me remind you that everything I share comes from my own observations, experiences, mistakes, and lessons. Life has been kind enough or stubborn enough to just teach me. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm simply here to make you think. So today's conversation is for anyone who's ever refreshed their email a little too many times. You've checked LinkedIn before getting out of bed. You've applied for job number 147, customized another resume, watched another "we're moving forward with other candidates" email, which has landed in your inbox. Or maybe you didn't even get the rejection. You got silence. And that silence hits differently. So today's topic is, how do you stay motivated when unemployment starts changing you? And, I just read that another company has just laid off 700 people. We're in a very desperate time. And although people are looking for jobs, uh, you're not getting all that information back. You're not getting the callbacks like you used to. You're getting that silence, and it's a little hard. So I don't look at unemployment as just losing a paycheck. I think that's the easy part to explain to people, right? The hard part is losing the routine, right? So it's that I can't get up in the morning, or I don't have to get up. You think, I'm on vacation. That's what your mind kind of tells you. But no. See, because nobody tells you, right, that Monday starts feeling exactly like Thursday. That you wake up wondering, what day is it? That if you don't have a calendar in front of you, you don't know what day it is. You don't know what week it is. And it's not because, as I said before, it's not because you're on vacation, but unemployment makes every day start looking the same, even the weekends. And see, nobody tells you that you'll spend an hour perfecting a resume or writing 3 resumes, and then spend another hour wondering if anybody will ever open it. Nobody tells you how strange it feels to answer the question, so what do you do? And you used to answer without thinking. Now you hesitate because somehow that hesitation starts creeping to other parts of your life. Does that make you reflect? See, here's something I had to learn. Losing a job does not mean you lose your value. Understand that. You're not losing your value because you lost a job. Because somewhere along the way, I stopped introducing myself by who I was and started introducing myself by what I no longer had. I wasn't saying it out loud, but I was thinking, I'm unemployed. I'm behind. I'm failing. I'm stuck. And that's hard, especially if you've been working for 20 plus years. But eventually, I realized those weren't the facts. Those were labels. Those are labels that people have. And labels are dangerous because if you repeat them long enough, you start believing them and you start living like they're true. Now, don't misunderstand me. Bills are real. They don't stop coming because unemployment's here. They're here. They stay. They come every month on clockwork. And stress is real. The struggle, the understanding, the what did I do? The pressure is real. when rent is due, mortgage is due, positive thinking doesn't pay it. Let's be honest, right? There were days I wasn't worried about purpose. I was worried about groceries. I'm gonna feed my kids. There were days I wasn't asking, what's my passion? I was asking, can I stretch this meal until Friday? That's the realness. And pretending otherwise doesn't help anybody, especially not yourself. But here's what I discovered. Money wasn't the only thing unemployment was trying to steal. It was trying to steal my confidence. Every rejection started sounding personal. Every no became, you're not good enough. Except that's not what they said, but that's what I heard. And those are two totally different things. I hope you're hearing me. See, you ever notice how one rejection can erase years of accomplishments? You can have 15 years of experience, awards, promotions, people you've helped, problems you've solved, and then one automated email shows up and says, we've decided to pursue other candidates. And suddenly, your brain may say, I knew I wasn't good enough. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about how dramatic our brain can be sometimes? Your resume gets rejected, and your brain is already planning to retire you from life. So I'm asking you, calm down, breathe. It's one company, not the entire planet. And sometimes I had to laugh at myself because my imagination had better attendance than my hope. I was always showing up early to predict the worst case scenario. And that's not how it should be. But it happens, right? Our imagination gets the best of us. And one of the biggest mistakes I made was treating unemployment like endless free time. Because it isn't. It is a temporary assignment. So I started treating my job search like my actual job. I got dressed, not in pajamas, but real clothes. And I was already working from home. So I'm not saying go out and start wearing a three-piece suit to the kitchen table, unless that's your thing. But there's something about getting ready that tells your brain we're going somewhere. Even if somewhere is just to your office, to your laptop, to the kitchen table, but somewhere. And see, I created office hours. Wake up, 9 to noon, we're going to fill out applications. We're going to research jobs. After lunch, it was going to be, let me learn something new. Let me network. Let me update my skills. Let me look at my resume again. Let me create some content. But let me do something, anything. Because sitting around, waiting for an opportunity, started feeling too much like waiting for someone else to decide my future. And I realized I still had choices. And so do you. And like I said, being on unemployment or being unemployed is not easy. And that's all I'm seeing out here today. If you check LinkedIn, everybody's looking for a job. And see, once I established these office hours, the biggest shift wasn't just having a schedule. It was changing the question I asked myself every morning. Instead of asking, when is somebody going to hire me? I began asking, what can I build while I'm waiting? Hence, we started a podcast. Now, see, that's the question that changed me. Because maybe you won't start a podcast, but maybe you'll learn AI. Maybe you'll start writing. Or maybe you're volunteering for something or somewhere that you didn't have time for before. Or maybe you're taking a certification class. None of it will immediately replace your paycheck, but it'll replace something that's just as important, and that's momentum. Because momentum matters. Motivation is emotional, but momentum is behavioral. Motivation says, I feel like it. Momentum says, I've already started. And that's you making a difference. That's you giving purpose back to your life and not letting unemployment determine your life. And one of the things that I ask that you do, stop counting the rejection emails. Start counting how consistent you are in applying. Did you apply today? Did you reach out to a recruiter? Did you improve one skill? Did you learn something new? That's what you start counting. That's your win. Not, I got 20 rejections today. No, that will change your mindset because here's the truth. You can't control who hires you, but you absolutely can control whether you quit growing. And I refuse to let unemployment become an unemployment of my mind. Does that make sense? I hope so. And I hope it's helping someone out there. Because, see, you can look at social media and know that someone lost their job, but you're like, they living their best life. Everybody's getting promoted. They're buying houses. They're vacationing in Cozumel. While I'm sitting here justifying buying name brand cereal. Don't do that. Can we stop pretending comparison is healthy? Because people rarely post, I got my 4th rejection this week, woo woo. No, they don't. They're not going to post, I cried in the parking lot after another interview. They're not going to post, I've rewritten my resume 6 times. No. No one's going to post their struggle of unemployment. So don't compare your behind the scenes to somebody else's highlight reel. That's like comparing your Monday morning to somebody else's vacation photos. You'll lose. So focus on you. Focus on your purpose. And can I tell you something unemployment gave me? Perspective. When life slows down, you start noticing things. You notice who checks on you when you have nothing to offer versus the ones who only calls when you're useful. You see clearly who shows up to encourage you, tell you there's a job over here, there's a job over there, and who simply just disappear. It's amazing how clearly people reveal themselves when your title is gone. Are you thinking? Are you noticing? See, I also learned who I was. Not the employee, not the manager, not the professional, just me. And that lesson was uncomfortable, but necessary because I needed to reflect on me sometimes. I needed to reflect on what I needed in life. And somewhere we've confused income with identity, and that's not the same. A paycheck tells you what you've earned, it does not tell you what you're worth. Your value didn't clock out because your job ended. Your wisdom didn't disappear. Your kindness didn't disappear. Your experience didn't disappear. You're still you. And maybe that's enough to build something new. So write that book that you didn't have time to write before. Start that podcast that you've been wanting to do. Go volunteer at the Humane Society because it's something you wanted to do. Enjoy your life even though you're unemployed. And people will ask, and they've asked me, how do I stay motivated? Honestly, I stopped chasing motivation and built a routine. Simple as that. Because motivation is like that friend who says, I'm on my way, and then texts you 2 hours later and says, I'm still on my way. But see, routine, yeah, that gets you going each and every day, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. If you make it so that you get up at a certain time, and thankfully for me, I have my dogs. They help with that. They make sure I get up, and so I get up, I take them out, I have a routine. I come in, I check my emails, I start applying, and I keep that with my day. So every morning, before I look at the rejection emails, I start asking myself questions. What can I control today? Who can I encourage today? And what can I learn today? And these questions keep me going. They keep me moving. I'm not perfect, but I'm still moving. And maybe this is a season for preparation for me. Not because unemployment is fun, because it's not, or because struggle is glamorous. It's not. But because, sometimes life clears space before it builds something different. Would I have chosen this path? Nope. Would I waste it? No. I've learned a lot. So if you're listening today and you're unemployed, I want you to hear this from someone who understands how heavy this season can feel. Don't let temporary circumstances become a permanent opinion of yourself. Your job ended, but your story didn't. Your position changed, but your purpose didn't. Keep applying, keep learning, keep showing up, keep believing in yourself on the days it's hard. Not because optimism magically creates opportunities, but because hopelessness guarantees you'll miss them. One application, one conversation, one new skill can create one opportunity. Sometimes that's all it takes to change everything. And when that day comes, you'll look back and realize this season wasn't just about finding another job. It was about finding another version of yourself, a stronger one, a wiser one, a more resilient one that discovered they were never defined by a title in the first place. Are you thinking? Did I make you think? Because I sure hope so. That's all I have for today. So stop thinking now Start doing and build the future that's waiting for you. If today's conversation encouraged you, share it with someone who might be carrying the weight of unemployment in silence. Sometimes one conversation can remind someone they haven't lost their value. They're simply in a season of transition. So be sure to subscribe and follow us on all of the social media platforms. Every episode of Made You Think drops every Thursday at noon. So until next time, protect your peace, keep your faith bigger than your fear, and remember, a closed door doesn't mean your story is over. It might just be redirecting you to the door you were actually meant to walk through. I'll see you next episode.